Sha, 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 haifanyi. Sha, 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 haifanyi. Sha, sha, haifanyi. Sha, sha, haifanyi. Sha, 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 haifanyi. Sha, sha, haifanyi.
Raila Odinga is not a reformist. He's a shameless opportunist who has been riding on the blood of Kenyans to create wealth for himself, his clique, and his family. He has been playing us unabashedly like Ronaldinho for eons. With Moi, it was cooperating with Kanu. With Kibaki, it was nusu mkate. With Uhuru, it was handshake for the sake of peace. With Ruto, after youths were murdered and brains scattered on pavements in the streets of Nairobi, it's broad-based government. The Ayatollah of Opoda has held the Luo community ransom. Parliament, on the other hand, is filled by rotten, nefarious, greedy thugs and hooligans in expensive suits. Who gives budget hundreds of millions to a silly office like that one of Rachel Ruto as if power is sexually transmitted, while many kids out here are going without food or access to education, which is and ought to be a basic right? We do not have a country. We have a cabal of thieves, and we must reclaim back our country from these paragons of mediocrity.
Tumerudi. Umerudi kufanya nini? Kunyanyasa wa Kenya?
Fred, Pastor Moi's church is not far from the CBD. In fact, looking at the location of that church, from town, from Thika, from everywhere, it's at the center, you see? And today is Friday. We're just one day to Sunday. We are going to worship in that church.
Well, and what would your intention be to go worship there?
So that we get to see what is it that is special in that church that they deserve 20 million that the students in Baringo should not get. We are going to see what is it that is special with Pastor Mwai that the president can carry 20 million and give him, whereas doctors in turns have not been paid. What is it that is special in that church that should be given 20 million while we are in a situation where SHIF and SHA is not working, but the presidency has decided not to take action on it? What is it that is special in that church that is, that is not special about young Kenyans who are abducted and disappeared and just to appear at city mortuary? You see, so we are going to worship in that church, and we will worship peacefully, but at the end of the day, we shall put a communication. Let me ask you, Fred, we are over 6.
According to Justin Muturi, it took one call from the president to the NIS director, and he had his son. Have you guys ever heard of something called the cable report? If I see this car again around me or around the place I work, I will deflate the tires and make sure the public burns it in recognition. I said what I said, and I am dramatic enough to make that happen. Yeah.
Tumerudi. Umerudi kufanya nini? Kunyanyasa wa Kenya?
It's so sad that at this day and age, our country is regressing backwards to an era that has been long forgotten, where people used to be silenced just for speaking up. Kama unatumianga TikTok on a regular basis, most probably you've come across a video or two a young courageous lady called Ellen, who uses her platform to ask for accountability, better governance, and expose the rot in the government. She has so much courage and so much fight in her that some higher-ups are feeling intimidated enough to send people her way to either intimidate her or silence her. Mpaka sai bado hatujajua exactly why she's being followed, but anafuatwa. Ukipatana na hii post, share the hashtag, repost this video if you can, make your own video if you can, and let's amplify this to as far as we can. Let's have each other's backs, because leo ni yeye, kesho ni mimi, kesho kutwa inaweza kuwa wewe. anything goes with this government.
I'm trying to understand the thought process behind donating 20 million to a church in Baringo when you know very well that kids in the same county can't even afford to get a meal back home. And to you church leaders, where's your dignity? How can you accept such a donation wakati treasury yetu inakuwa looted? In 7 months alone, we've lost over 1.3 billion. Mapasta mkipata hizi donations mnatusahau, lakini hamwezi sahau kutisha 10% end month. Shame on you. You might think you're God's favorite when in real sense, you're nothing less than a pulpit bandit. Hata Yesu angekuwa hapa angekuwa shawapea machapati kadhaa juu ni ufala. Machachi zinakubali hizi donations nafasi ya kutwa church ziitwe money laundering centers because that's what they are. I miss the good old days zenye watu walikuwa naombea kwa mlima.